Smartdoll crochet time. It's actually only the top that I'm going to be doing today. Haven't decided what I'm doing about the actual shorts. I want to have a little play around with the design a little bit before I decide what I'm doing with that. It might be just a pattern I will pop up on my website, but the top looks absolutely amazing with a pair of jeans or a pair of, she's got some denim shorts, they look really cool as well. So it doesn't have to be a set, it can be something that she's wearing with something you've already got. Now here she is, of course. Now the yarn I'm using is a 4-ply cotton. This is 100% cotton, doesn't have a lot of give, so do watch your tension on that. I'm going to be using a 2.5mm crochet hook, which is a little bit smaller than some of the other projects I have done with the Smartdoll. I've also got my needle and my scissors, and my pattern is to one side over here with a piece of paper and pen, because there's not a lot of marking, but just in case you wanted to mark anything down, it's always good to have it with you. So this is my Mirai. I'm going to pop her slightly to one side. I'm just having a look at her. Can you see in her eyes? It looks like her eyes have dropped back a bit. I've been having this a bit recently. When I lay her back, the eyes are dropping. I don't know whether it's the I don't know whether it is literally blue tack or the blue tack-esque type stuff, because she's never, must admit, she's never had any new in, and they've been there, what, we're talking 3.5 years now. So perhaps I need to pop a little bit more in there and maybe sort that out. It's easy to do with these. I know some of you do change the eyes regular, so you'll not have a problem with that. So let's move you. How far should we move you to? Should maybe so you can we can still see you? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, she's okay there, isn't she? Right, so as I say, this is, if you're in the UK, I don't know whether you can get this elsewhere, this is Patons as a cotton, P-A-T-O-N-S. They do it, I use their double knit a lot, and I also use their 4-ply. I just love it as a yarn, but it doesn't have give, so that's why I mentioned. In fact, I'll show you. One of the things I have done is I've done it so it's a little button up bit. So in fact, let me just slightly undo it. I've used a little star button because it's one I'd got, that's all. So you can see it separates. So if, for example, you'd made it a little bit too big, put your button further over, it can reach. If you've made it a little bit small, you can always extend this loop or change the position again of the button. Now, I don't know why I picked a star button, because it's not very easy to put it over. It does look quite cute though. So that's why I have left the button like that. So there's a little bit of flexibility there. Also mentioned, before I carry on, I'll just mention, obviously Smartdolls have different bust sizes. Again, with this sort of design, the beauty is there's quite a lot of flexibility there. So if she has got a larger bust, she's okay. If she's flatter chested, it's okay. It will sort of fit any sort of size. My Mirai standard, it's just what comes with them. So that's how I have to work on it really. But I think that fits quite nicely. But there is room for alteration, because this part here doesn't really change size, it's only the chest size that changes. So back over there, Mirai, we're going to get on with this. So here we are with my 4-ply cotton. I'm going to do my slip knot and onto my hook. Again, because there's no give with this, don't make that too tight, otherwise it'll make your life more difficult. We're going to be starting very much like I do with my amigurumi, so we're going to be starting with 2 chain. Remember, I am UK terms, so when I'm referring to stitches, be careful what you're doing there, double check if you're not sure. So I've done my 2 chain, and into that first chain I'm going to do 6 double crochets again, very much like I would do with amigurumi. Oh, I've got my nail there. Right, here we go. There's 2, 3, 4, or not, 5, and 6. Again, with cotton, it splits, and you have to be careful. If it splits, undo it. It will look a mess if you don't. So I'm just going to pull that 2 now. If you're not 100% sure, Mirai's got hold of my yarn there, where number 6 is and where it isn't, we'll count from the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So here is going to be my first next stitch. And into each of these 6, I'm going to be doing 2 double crochets. So is the first one. I've been using a large hook on my last project, and this feels really tiny. It's not. I use a lot smaller than this, but it just feels really small all of a sudden. So that's 2 in the first one, 2 in the second one, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, and 2 in our last one, number 6. So now we have 12 stitches. So we're going to do the same again. So tighten that up now. You can tighten that up nice and tight. If you're having a problem with tightening this up, perhaps you've sort of gone a little bit wrong with your slip knot or something, you can always run this through with a needle and then pull it tight, and that it does work. It's not as good, but it does work if for whatever reason you can't tighten that hole up. So again, 2 in each. Off we go. So we should end up with 24 stitches because they had 12. We've got 12 and we're doing 2 each. So that's 1. I'll go a little bit quicker now. 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course we need 2 of these. I did mean to make one in advance, but they don't take long, so I will do both. That was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just 2 more. Oh, that pulled loose then. That was weird. 10. This is the 11th, wasn't it? Yeah. 11 and 12. So now hopefully I have my 24 stitches. I soon find out when I do my next section, because if I haven't, it won't work. Right, I'm going to do a slip stitch next. So slip stitch into your next stitch. Okay, and I'm going to do 3 chain. 1, 2 and 3, and then into the base of that, so it's in the same place, so directly below, if you stretch it you can see the hole there. I'm going to do a double treble, so you wrap round 1 for a treble, wrap round 2 for a double treble, then into the hole required and you pull it through. And like with the treble, you keep going 2s and 2s, so you pull it through 2, you pull it through another 2, and you pull it through your last 2. Okay, we're going to do another couple of those, so you will be able to pick it up, so don't worry if you've not done one before. We're now going to do 1 treble in each of the next 7. So we start here. These are trebles now, not double trebles. These are bog standard trebles. So that's 1 of them. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. In the next stitch we're going to do 2 double trebles. This is creating the sort of triangle-y shape then. So remember, wrap round twice for a double treble, into the stitch, pull it through. We should have 4 on the hook. We pull through 2, we pull through 2, we pull through 2. You're going to do the same into the same hole. Wrap round twice, into the hole, pull it through. We have 4 on the hook. We pull through 2, we pull through 2, we pull through 2. Now 7 trebles, so 1 in each of the next 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just flatten it out if it's curling a bit. That was 5, wasn't it? Don't lose count. 5, 6 and 7. We are going to go back to the double trebles in the next one, so 2 double trebles in the next one. So wrap round twice, into the hole, pull through, 4 on the hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, repeat again. So round twice, into the hole, pull through, 4 on the hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now hopefully we've got 7 stitches left here, we'll soon find out. So I'm going to have 1 DC in each of the next DC treble into the next 7. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's looking good. 6, and hopefully 1 more, and 7. We did it, we did it. So now all you're going to do is a slip stitch into top of that first 3 chains. So right at the very top there, pull it through, pull it through. Scissors time. Make sure you cut the right bit. I shouldn't lay it down like that. I've cut the wrong bit. Snip and pull it through. So that is one side. I'm going to do the second side a little bit quicker because I should have done it really, because it's going to take extra time. What am I on? I'm on 10 minutes at the moment, so let's see how quick this goes. If you need to go sort of do your second side and you're not sure, go back to the one that I've just done. Might be the easiest option, but I am going to talk you through this, but it is going to be a little bit quicker. That's the theory anyway. We have our 2 chain. We have 6 double crochets into that first chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Pull it tight. 2 double crochets. In fact, that yarn really could do with going on the other side. I'll put it behind the mirror. Hopefully it won't get tangled in it. I'm going to do 2 double crochets into each of those 6, giving us 12. So we have 1, 2. I'm alright saying I'm doing this faster. I'm going wrong, aren't I? Let me take that back out. That was only 1. That was 1. We're on 2 now. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5 and 6. So we now have 12. Now I don't know whether you've noticed, if you look over to one side here, can you see how it's now running through Mirai's hand, but it's also doubled over. I don't know how that's happened. I think she's grabbed it. Stop grabbing the yarn. Right, 2 in each of the 12 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, halfway there now with 6. Now she's grabbed it with the other hand. 6. Was that 6? Yes, this is 7 because there was only 1 in there. That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Slip stitch. Right, now I'm going to go through those double trebles again. They are easy enough. It's just an extra sort of wrap around the hook. So we're going to do 3 chain first. 1, 2 and 3. Then yarn round twice and into the hole directly below that 3. We have 4 on the hook. We're going to pull through 2 and pull through 2. We are next going to have, it's really not helping having her there. Next we're going to have 7 trebles, 1 in each of the next 7. So just a normal treble or not. Wrap round. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Double treble time. Wrap round twice into the hole next. Through 2, through 2, through 2. Wrap round twice into the same hole. Pull through, 4 on the hook. Pull through 2, pull through 2. Now 7 trebles. Individual ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. We need another corner. Double trebles into the next hole and double treble. Wrap round twice. As long as you remember the wrap round twice, I think you'll do it easy. So 2, 2 and 2, and we should now have 7 trebles. Now I know I've abbreviated the second one a little bit, but if, like I say, if you're really stuck, pause it before, I don't drop it, pause it even before you get to that point and just do the first one twice. It's the same thing. As I really should have got one made in advance, and then I wouldn't have had to show both. Although it's taken about 4 minutes. It's not bad. Right, I didn't count then, did I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, do you notice that? I got 6. I'm adding one in. You can do that. Top of the 3 chain, slip stitch, join. We have 2 parts of a top. Now, if you didn't want to faff about doing the base bit here, sort of the pretty edging and everything, you could actually make a really quick bikini by just joining those 2, chain, 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 and tie it. You've got that little bikini top, so more of a skimpy bikini top for that. But yes, that's easy enough to do. Right, we're going to be joining these 2 together. Now, ideally I could do with getting rid of these ends, but for the purpose at the moment, I'm not going to. I might have to after a few minutes because they will get in the way. But let's get started first. So I've started with a new piece of yarn here. I am starting with my slip knot, and I'm going to do, I will check my numbers first. I'm going to do 17 chain. 1, 2, 3, not too tight, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Remember, you're not keeping up with me. You can always stop and pause and have a look at what's happening next. So we now need to join this onto one of these. So we'll take this one first. So with the front of it facing you, if you're not sure, can you see how it sort of curves in? It sort of sits flat to this side. If I turn it over, it doesn't. I mean, you can tell because of that as well. So I want the right side facing me. Now, this is where all the bits get in the way. So I'm going to wrap my yarn as ready for crocheting. I've picked up a piece. I'm going to go, can you see where the double trebles were? I'm going to go in there first. Tighten it up. And I'm going to do a double crochet into that corner. So can you see now we've sort of attached this. So then I'm going to crochet 1 double crochet all the way along to the next double treble. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that seems right. And then this is the in between of those double trebles. Can you see the 2 longer stitches there? I'm going to go in right all the way through there. So that's one side attached. We need to pick up the other side. I'm getting ever so tangled over here. Really not thought this through. So taking the other side, I hope you can see what I'm doing with all these threads. Going into between the 2 double trebles. You sometimes have to tighten it up before you stitch. So I've pulled them together, yeah? Pulled them together there. And we're going to double crochet. So you can see we have a join. And then we're going to double crochet all the way along. Right up to between those 2 double trebles. The next one is the double treble, so I'm going between them, I'm not going in a stitch, and double treble. So we had 17 there, so we need 17 at the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. So again, that's a great way of doing it. You could leave it at that. Well, you need them to be longer, and then you could just tie them, and as I say, just do one for the neck. But we're not, we're adding on, we're making it more like a top, so rather than just a bikini top. It's something, you know, she could go out in during the day rather than it just being a bikini. So let me double check where my numbers are. We have some double crochet rows to go, and there's going to be 5 of them. Now, this is front facing. We need to flip it over. Now this is going to feel a little bit weird because ideally you want the flat side of this rather than this side. It's up to you. I don't like crocheting into the back of a chain, so I have twisted mine slightly, but it doesn't matter. All you need to know is that you've got to do a double crochet in each of the chain, a double crochet across the bra top, and then another 17 double crochet down the other side. So I'm just doing my double crochets now. How are we going for time there? 20 minutes. We've probably only been crocheting about 17. I would recommend you sew your ends in on the bust part first, because it's going to get in the way. If that curls, I know that's a bit annoying, just straighten it out and it'll go. It's just that it curls up a little bit when you're doing it. Love this colour. It's not generally a colour I go for. I think it suits my eye really nice, but I think it's really summery, really quite striking. So into the last one. Now we are now on to this part, the bra part, or the cup part, not quite sure what to call it. So we're just going to do a double crochet all the way across, just like you would any other crochet. Just one double crochet into each double crochet. After you've got this first line out the way, it's a little bit easier. You see how these bits are getting in the way? And it'll start to make it feel a little bit firmer as well by the time we've gone across this. So I think it feels a bit flimsy when you first join it. I think if I was just doing just a plain bikini, not with the edge, I would still do this row, just to make it a little bit firmer for her. Not that she's moving about, but I just think it looks a little bit better. Nearly there, we're nearly at the chain. So again, whichever way you are crocheting into your chain is up to you. I'm sort of twisting mine a little bit because I prefer to go in from the flat side. A little bit unconventional perhaps, but however it works for you, as long as you get one stitch in each chain. Now, as I mentioned, there are 5 of these rows. This is the first of those 5. As soon as you got this one out the way, the others go a little bit quicker. So I don't know whether you've stopped or paused or fast forwarded me and you're doing your 5. If you're doing your 5, you might even be there by the time I get to the end of this. I don't know. Everybody's different. I think a beginner can do this, but I think a beginner would have to take their time. Maybe watch the video, write a few notes, see how they felt about it, and then getting on with it. So we're at the end. I'm going to do a chain because I'm going to be turning. I'm going to turn my work. And then I'm going to be doing a double crochet all the way along again. So this is our second round. And as soon as you've done the 5, all you've really got to do is the scallop and sew the ends in, and the scallop is so easy. Love doing scallops on crochet. It's one of them things that really finishes something off, and it is, well, if you know how to treble and you know how to double crochet, you've got a shell done. It's easy, or scallop shell, whatever you want to call it. Again, you could cut this short, you could leave it at this one. It's up to you. You can make it longer, so it would be more of a sort of a vest top, sort of a skimpy vest top. I know I've just done some vest tops, but you could just extend this down if you wanted to, so she could wear it as just a regular halter top, I suppose. All right, we're on to the bra bit, which is easier, the strap to the waist bit. So I'm going to speed up a bit. So again, please slow me down on the settings if it's a problem, or just pause me, because all it is one double crochet into every single stitch. I'll try and keep it as sort of simplified, explained as much as possible, especially if I'm wanting to put a pattern alongside of it. Now I might, this one's a hard one to do a pattern for, as in a written pattern. Well, it's not hard, it's just explaining it, because I have a sort of slightly strange way of explaining things, I think. Some of my patterns are not written very conventionally, because I sort of have a different abbreviation system, so I have to make myself do it the proper way. So I don't know whether you've looked on my website yet. I know obviously if you do the crochet, you're not necessarily going to want to look and buy any of my crochet, but you know, it might give you some ideas for what you're wanting to do. Or there are some patterns on there. Now my YouTube patterns I did mention in my past video, but I think I only mentioned it in the Cindy one. I have put some of the YouTube ones on there. I'm going to be putting more on, but I wanted to do them as free patterns. I can't work out how to do it, so I hope it's okay. I have put them at 1 penny. I know it works. I got my son to buy one just to try it. They're saying to me, what am I going to do with a crochet cat download on my phone? But yeah, so if it's been a YouTube one, I'll have popped it on there bit by bit. They're not all on yet, I must admit, but some are. And they will be 1p to download. And it's easier than getting it off my blog as well, because it's just a straightforward download, whereas the blog you have to copy and paste. So, but I have put them at a penny. So they're my penny patterns. That's what I'm calling them. There are other patterns on there as well. Not really any Smartdoll ones. There's only one hat one that's not included in the penny one. But I'm going to be adding more and more as I go. Right to it at the very end. Don't forget that last stitch. It does make a difference. Chain and turn. We are on row 3. So notice I'm not going in that one directly there because I've done a chain. So I'm going into the next one along. Keeps a nice flat edge, because a lot of people do have problems keeping these edges right. Sometimes you do go in the stitch below, sometimes you don't. It's purely depending on what you're working on. As I say, I'm not going to say this is a beginner one. I think the thing that makes it not a beginner more than anything else is using this particular yarn and a 2.5mm hook. And most beginners will start around a 4mm hook, maybe down to a 3.5, but you'll find most people don't vary much from there. I mean, a 3 is probably my most commonly used for the dolls. Or down to a 2.5 for some of the smallers, and for my tinies, well, for the pippers, etc., I'll be going to anything down to a 1mm hook, or even less. I've not used less for ages, but the smallest one I've probably used is a 0.75, but they do go smaller than that. Don't really get time to do some of the minis. I really should spend a bit of time, because my phone was shaking then. I must have knocked it. I've got a message on it. Would that have done it? Did it vibrate? I don't know. I wasn't aware that I'd knocked anything. I'm trying to keep as still as I can. Right, so let's speed up a little bit for you. Well, like I say, we're on 27 minutes now. I reckon in an hour you could comfortably get one of these out with a bit of time to spare. Obviously you've got your sewing your ends in, which can sometimes take more time than, well, not more time than the whole crochet, but they do take time, don't they? We are almost there. Right, I said this was 3, didn't I? You should know when you're on the right side. If you're going to stop or lengthen it, you need to finish on this side. So you see in the back, that would be a finish side before you do a scallop. So if you weren't going to do any more, you need to finish on that side, because otherwise your scallop will be the other way around, which is okay if that's the style you want. Make sure we get that very last one. It's hard sometimes. I've just bent the hook. I'm really heavy-handed. Can you see I've got a slight bend on that? Yeah. Don't bend it back, it's going to snap. If I'm using a 2 or a 2.5, I can guarantee I will bend them, because I think the aluminium they make them of, they're just not very strong, and I don't think it's very good. As soon as you get lower than a 2, they'll steel. They're brilliant. Love the steel hooks, but this size, for some reason, because I sort of seem to press down, right, we've got another row, this is our 4th row, but because I'm a bit heavy-handed, which I know when I say that to people and they know what I do, they sort of think, well, that doesn't make much sense, how can you be heavy-handed? But I do, I seem to put a lot of pressure with my thumb onto the crochet hook. If it's a 2, oh, the amount of 2s I've destroyed, I have just bent in half. 2mm hooks are just, no, I just do not use the things, and I'm not the only person who's said that either. I would rather drop to a 1.75 steel and have to sort of work a bit harder at it, or when you're saying that, you go up to 2.5, it's like this. As soon as you get to a 3, they're solider, but the 2s, and the 2.5s do not agree with me at all. So if you're a bit like me, be careful when you're doing it. Right, I'm just declining a call. That was my daughter. She knows I'm going to be doing something, so I know it won't be anything that important. Although her and the kids tonight, I think a partner should be back from... It's vibrating again. What am I doing? I'm knocking something. Oh, it has. It's come up as another message, and it's done it again. So it must be that. It must be vibrating. I've never noticed that before. But because it's on the stand, I'm probably... Yeah, I'm sort of not aware of it. Yes, so it's made my phone wobble. Hope it's not wobbled too much. I was chuntering, wasn't I? What was I on about? Yes, Harry Potter. They're having a Harry Potter evening. There's a local, well, it's a little cafe actually, but they're doing these amazing little boxes because the cafe's not open. So you can order them online and pay for them online, and then you have a special time to go because obviously you can't have people queuing. And you can go and pick up your boxes, and they've got these boxes for the kids, and it's so cute. There's a Harry Potter muffin with stuff on it. You know, there's a little chocolate one, there's a chocolate frog, there's coins, chocolate pebbles, little sandwiches, a little drink, some crisps. It is really, really nice. Kids don't know they've got that yet. I picked it up for her earlier. So they're watching Harry Potter. It's first time really for the eldest. The youngest is probably not going to pay a huge amount of attention, but the eldest is 5 and she's still just starting to get into things like that, and she's interested, so she wanted to watch it. So they decided to make an evening of it. So it should be fun. Charlotte's painted up some little white marshmallows to look like hedgewigs. They're amazing. I'm going to be putting those pictures on Instagram when she's done them. Right, I'm actually on my last row. Yeah, a lot of little local businesses where we live, they are doing things like that because obviously they can't run as normal. So they're just sort of doing little bits of food that people can buy and pick up. And it's like the greengrocers, I think I've mentioned before. You order a fruit and veg box and you pay for it online, or if you have to, you can go and pay by card at the shop, or if necessary, because he's delivering to a lot of elderly, obviously they're going to be paying cash. But yeah, it's really nice, and it's nice to see the local businesses getting the money, and I'm hoping people are going to continue to do it with them, because I think in some respects it's probably boosted their business, especially if they carry on doing it, which I think they are on about doing it. I know the greengrocers definitely is. But for my mum, who's 80, I do take some of her shopping up, but obviously fruit and veg and potatoes and things like that can start to get heavy. So she's been ordering from him as well. So while I go in, order it, pay by card, and then he delivers it to her, and she's just got everything there. It's brilliant, and she's going to carry on doing it, because last time she ordered one, she added milk and some cream, and I think she added something else as well. So it's brilliant, and it's keeping some people in work, although most people now are starting to go back to work here. I know it's different in different parts of the world at the moment. Hoping everybody's going to see light at the end of the tunnel soon. Right, we're nearly at the end of our last row. What are we on? 33 minutes. Not bad. She's still grabbing that yarn. Our next row is going to be our scallop row, and then we have one row that's going to go all the way around the whole thing. That'll take a few minutes. Right, last stitch. Don't forget this last one, it's hardly there, so you do need to get it. So I'm going to do one chain and I'm going to turn. You should now have the right side facing you, yeah, but if you haven't, your scallop will go back to front. So for the scallop, it is so easy. We're going to miss 2 stitches, 1, 2, and into our third we're going to do 5 trebles. So we have 1, 2, or not, 3, 4, these are just trebles, and 5. So that's 5 trebles all in the same hole. We're then going to miss 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to do a double crochet. Yeah, we're going to miss 2, 1, 2, and into the next one, 5 trebles. You got it. You've probably worked out how it works now anyway. 2, 3, 4 and 5. We're going to miss 2, 1, 2 into the third, double crochet. See how it's keeping it nice and flat. You have to be careful with shells or scallops, because if you do too much and then you don't miss enough in between, it can distort the shape quite badly. So we're missing 2 into the third, we're always missing 2. We're going to do 5 trebles. 2, 3, 4, 5, we're missing 2, 1, 2 into the third, double crochet, miss 2, 1, 2 into the third, 5 trebles, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Miss 2, 1, 2 and a double crochet. I have to keep moving my yarn. Apart from that it's catching, I find that cotton doesn't run through your hands very easily, so you do have to sort of pull at it a little bit sometimes. So I'm missing 2, 1, 2, 5 trebles, 1, 2, 3. She's got hold of it again. Look at this, look at this. 1, 2, 3. They're easy to count because you can see them quite well. 3, 4 and 5, miss 2 and double crochet, miss 2 and 5 trebles. So we're almost at the end. It doesn't take much to do this bit. So it's a scallop you can actually transfer to lots of things you do. That's 4, that's 5, miss 2, double crochet. For some reason my nose is itchy. Absolutely no reason why. I don't want to sneeze or anything like that, it's just itching. So I have 1, 2, miss, 5 trebles. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Miss 2, miss 2, 5 trebles. We are there nearly. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, miss 2, 1, 2 into the third, and we're just going to double crochet to the end now because it's only a couple of stitches. Right, so you can see we now have a really pretty scallop there. So what I want to do now is I want to double crochet up here, along, around, down, up, round, and on this very last one I'm going to do that little loop. So this side is the one that's going to have the button. I didn't put a button out actually, I should have, shouldn't I? But any button you've got really. So I'm going to go up the side, so it's just a case of trying to pick out your stitches. They're not too bad when they're double crochet, it's relatively easy to see. Remember you did 5 rows, so you need 5 stitches, but I'm going to do 2 in the corner here because I'm going to be going along this bit now. It is the back you've got facing you now, so it's a little bit harder to get into because it's where your chain was, and chains are always more difficult to get into. I'm saying on the back, we've actually got the front facing me, but it's because it's the back of the chain, isn't it? That's what's making me think back. As long as you remember to go all the way around, it doesn't really matter. Right, so I'm just coming, can you see? I'm going to go into that one there where we joined because that's sort of quite an obvious space. So I'm going to go into that and then up and over. Now, because these are mainly trebles, a couple of double trebles, I know they're easy to see the stitch. So we can just quickly go into one of each stitch. Now, this is another good reason for sewing the ends in before you actually do this, because that's going to get in the way now. It will be okay though. You can actually sort of crochet it in as you go if you wanted to, but I'm not going to go into that detail now. I'm just going to go, right, top one is 2 stitches because it's where those double trebles are. Yep. And then off we go down the other side. Flat me out so you can see where you're going. A couple more stitches there before we go open over the other one. Move that out the way. Just fold it back and then it's not in your way. Make sure these stitches are tight. That's another reason why I keep stopping and starting to pull my stitches tight. So over we go. I'm going to go in the middle there. And in the middle there. It's done it again. It's definitely messages. She keeps messaging me. If she's really stuck and she wants something, my son's downstairs and she'll ring him anyway. So I'll suddenly get shouted that there's a call. Or is it me? Oh, I don't know. This silly cord, I think. I'm going to need to work out a different way to do it. It could be me. I'm blaming my phone and it's probably me. Right, up and over the other side. Two in the middle one. And then back down the other side. So we're almost there. Now the actual chain for holding it up over her neck, I haven't made it so you fasten it, but it is big enough so it slips over her head. So you don't need to worry about that. There is no body parts need to come off to fit this. I know there's a lot of outfits, even well, a couple that I've done as well. I try and make sure that they at least go over the head. I don't like taking the heads off, but the arms sometimes do have to come out, unfortunately. Right, last stitch around that part, and then we've got our last bit down here. So we're just running along the top of this chain. I'm conscious of where this wire is now. I hope I've not knocked it in lots of places. I only noticed it in a couple. So it's just double crochet all the way around. Let's caught the yarn a bit, but it doesn't matter. So here I'm going to do, remember there's 5, I mean you sort of count that, I suppose it's 6. So I'm going to do 2 stitches down, then I'm going to do 5 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the next stitch, double crochet, and carry on. Just 2 more. Yeah, I think that's it. We'll make the last one a slip stitch, makes it neater. So I'm now going to cut it off. I don't think why the wire is in the way. It doesn't normally get in the way. Perhaps it should be behind my arm. Right, so slip stitch, finish. So this here is your little loop to sort of put on your button, the other side, and that's where you, as I said before, you can adjust it. Now as far as the chain around the neck goes, you see you've got a little bit of shape in now. I will do it, even though I should have sewn my ends in first to make my life easier. Basically, look for approximately centre point. Yep. Pull the yarn through. Do a chain. Do a double crochet back into that same space. See, what's happening is that bit I've not sewn in is getting in the way now. There we go. So I double crochet. It just anchors it a little bit, and then we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4. I've just looked across at the pattern and I've not written how many chains for. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I've stopped there because I want to have a look. I want to have a look how it is sitting. Because basically we're going to be going up and back down the other side. I mean, that's definitely not enough. I might have to, because I've not written it down for some silly reason, I'm going to have to pinch this off, Mirai. So we will leave you part decent. I'll do it over here. In fact, I'm going to have to take a wig off for that. There we go. We'll leave her over here. We don't want her indecent, bless her. You can see her arm just. So I'm having a quick look. So I've done 30 there. I reckon 35 should be enough. Check on your doll. If you'd sewn all the ends in, unlike me, and you'd put your button on, you can actually fit it on and have a little check. So I'd got 30 there. 31, 32, 33, 34 and 35. Let's have another look. I reckon 35 will be okay. This does stretch. I'm saying cotton doesn't stretch, but when you do a chain, because it's sort of loose at this point, it does have a little bit of flexibility, so you can sort of allow it to fit like that. Right, I'm just going to go into the top of the other side and do a double crochet, slip into the next one and do a slip stitch, and that's it. We've done, apart from lots of ends to sew in, which I don't like doing. I'm going to be making a couple of these to go on my site as a full set to sell. I don't know if to do a different colour. I think I'll just stick to this colour. I end up deciding, oh, I'll do that in 10 colours, and then it takes me days and days and days to do it. So you can see we've got all these little bits and pieces to sew in, but apart from that, we have our bikini top, which when the bits are sewn in, there we go. So we have a little button. Look at that, I've done it opposite way around now, haven't I? So you can have a little button on one side, a little hook on the other side, and basically just send it across, and you can adjust. If you've done it a bit loose, you can take it in, take it out if you've done it a little bit too tight. So there's a bit of adjustment there involved as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm just having a look at the sizings here. See, mine's slightly different this time round, so you do have to watch it. It is worth checking on the doll, not hugely, but it'll be okay. So please like, subscribe and share if you did enjoy it. I'm sure that camera has moved again. Oh, I'm gonna watch this back and it's going to be a disaster. I know it is. Now hopefully it'll be okay, because otherwise I'm going to have to make a complete new one. So please like, subscribe and share as I mentioned. I hope to see you very soon with another project. Can't wait to see some photos of some of you with these, well, not with you with these tops on, with your dolls with these tops on. That would be lovely to see, and see you very soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.